What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the SoCal Dram Tram. I'm Matt.
And I'm Caesar.
And today, before we get into this really familiar looking bottle, we just want to say, hey, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thank you for coming by and checking us out. If you're a return viewer, we appreciate you so much for sticking around. Nonetheless, everybody hit that like button and don't forget to hit the bell. That way you know whenever we drop a brand new video. Caesar, if I'm not mistaken, this bottle's not from my bar. What did you bring us, good sir?
No, it is not. It's actually from my bar. Today, I brought you a Buffalo Trace store pick single barrel bottle.
You'll know about that in a minute.
So, today we got this Buffalo Trace store picked single barrel that actually my cousin, shout out to Whiskey Neanderthal, not only got this for me, but he had some say into picking the barrel. So, shouts out to him because this is actually a good one. I mean, obviously I've had some a little bit, and wow, it's incredible. And just to start, for those of you wondering, and if you want to look it up, because we looked it up as well, the barrel number is number 168. Barrel 168, single barrel selected by U.S. Liquor in Long Beach, California. So, guys, I mean, not only does it have this really cool...
So,
not only does it have that cool, Mario theme, but when I guess we looked at the barrel, it ended up being, we checked this multiple times. We asked multiple people from Buffalo Trace, like we emailed them and everything. Turns out that this barrel is actually, it's supposed to be part rye, but it ended up being a wheated bourbon. And we're like, whoa, could this possibly be Weller pick? Maybe, we'll see. I don't know. But yeah, it ended up being a wheated bourbon. And to be honest, wheated bourbon is probably one of my favorite bourbons, of all. I love that taste that wheated bourbon gives you is outstanding for me. I don't know. I guess I like wheated things because even wheated beer is actually really good for me too. It's
not where favorites. I thought you were going with that.
I like weed too. No, but yeah. So yeah, I'm actually expecting good things. What are you expecting out of this?
So this is very interesting for me, right? Number one, as you were saying, or is this a Weller or anything like that? I'm like, oh, goddamn it, do we have to bring out all the Buffalo Trace product again? Because God damn it, we have a lot. They just make so much bourbon. What's interesting to me, so I've always had my eye out for a Buffalo Trace single barrel pick. And I just either show up a little bit too late or it's not on the shelf anymore or whatever the case may be. The one time I saw it on the shelf, I passed on it because there was something else that I was like, no, I never see this one, so I'll grab this one. But the interesting thing for us today, folks, we have another bottle of Buffalo Trace that a little Matt over here is trying to kill. And so we may see a little bit of a comparison a little bit later on, also presented at 45%. You can check out the full review for that one up here. So I am excited to see if there is a difference, right? Especially since you're saying this barrel may have had some rye in it, or may have been a weeder barrel, right? So I'm excited to see, is there a difference? We're not going to go too crazy on like... trying to figure it all out. But I do want to do A and B and see if there is a difference by the end of this video. So this one may go a little bit long, folks. Apologies in advance, but we're going to go ahead and get through it. Let's go ahead and get into this nose. Traditionally, Buffalo Trace, we like it. We love it.
Yeah.
Great in baking. My wife makes a chocolate bourbon pecan pie.
Oh, yeah.
And we use Buffalo Trace in it, and it is to die for. We made it pretty recently for my boys that came over for a pay-per-view wrestling event, and it was a hit.
That was crazy, Bob. Crazy, Bob.
So let's do this.
All right, I'll let you go first.
Ooh, a little sharp. Like, not like, oh my God, but just like that kind of nail polishy, like right up front. But I can kind of, I don't know if it's just because you said it, but I can kind of get those weeded notes. Vanilla, some caramel, traditional bourbon, Interestingly enough, not a whole lot of brown sugar on this one though for me. I'm gonna sip it. You can tell me what you think.
Oh, I know what I think. I'm gonna wait till you speak.
Ooh. That drink's hotter than a 45. Like much hotter than a 45. Like if you were pouring this blind to me, I'd say this is like 48, 50, like cruising up to 50. I just had this Buffalo Trace the other night too, and I remember it just being so much sweeter. This one has a lot more character. This one has those weeded notes, like you mentioned.
Yep,
like it's
100%.
a little bit more sour. Not sour like sour candy, sour like, what's the best way to explain it? I don't even know how to explain it. Like, to me, it's always comes down to like chewing on like a piece of straw. Like you've ever been like full redneck, like same thing. You get a little bit of that tangy straw taste to it. I like it in all honesty. The interesting thing is I'm getting a little bit of the tobacco-y notes out of this one, which is, I always appreciate that in a whiskey. I usually get it in older scotches. I don't get it in a whole lot of bourbon, but I'm getting it out of this one and I really like it. What are your thoughts?
I get heavy wheat out of it for sure. Heavy sweet wheat. So I freaking absolutely love it.
It's got the weedy bread note, like cracked wheat bread.
Yeah,
like it's nice.
I freaking love it. At first, when I first had it, I was like, "Are you sure it's that good?" To myself, I told myself. And I had it again, and I was like, "Yeah, it is that good." I was like, "Damn, that's actually good stuff. Really good stuff." And that sweet wheat is all I'm gonna say. It's sweet wheat.
So we said, you know what? Maybe we don't put water on this one. Let's go ahead and do an A/B comparison on this guy. So this right here on my left is going to be the barrel pick, which is this guy right here. And then on my right, which again for you, it's going to be your left glass, is going to be the standard Buffalo Trace. And my thing is just, is there a difference, right?
Yeah.
In theory, this is like, hey, all the barrels went into, one particular vat and then came out the other end. And hey, lo and behold, you have Buffalo Trace. This would be more of that single barrel pick, right?
Barrel, yeah.
So I'm always curious to see, is there a difference? Is it worth tracing down the single barrel picks over just buying what's regularly on the shelf? So let's get into it. Yeah, the barrel pick is just really nice. I'm getting some of that brown sugar now that I've been sitting with it for a minute.
Yeah, I think the barrel pick gets me a lot more out the nose than the regular Buffalo Trace.
The regular bottle of Buffalo Trace, I should say, for me is like sweeter. Like candy sweet. Not necessarily good, like, oh my God, it's so much better because it's sweeter. Just like this is sickly sweet. So on the taste, that cigar humidor, like walking into the cigar room at Total Wine and getting all that smell that, is it a humidor? Is that what it's called?
I have no idea.
I don't know. You'll tell me in the comments. Like walking into that room and getting all that aromatic tobacco from all the cigar smoke. It's a lovely smell to me. I don't always like smoking cigars, but I do enjoy the social aspect of it. So for me, like getting that aromatic out of it is wonderful. The guy in this standard Buffalo Trace, sweeter, peppery on the back end, no tobacco. And I think you might be right. I think there's some weeder in this. Like, I know you did the research and apparently they told you, but I think that might be right. What are you thinking?
I think the single barrel pick has more to offer. Like,
yeah.
Like a lot more to offer. Like the regular Buffalo Trace isn't bad, but it kind of stops at a point where this one, it kind of keeps going. It's
I think the regular Buffalo Trace
Interactive.
is perfectly serviceable, right? You're never going to hear me say a bad thing about Buffalo Trace. Like, it's just not going to happen. It's a delicious bourbon. There's a reason why it's so sought after, especially at its price point. Usually around $22, has kind of jumped up a little bit in recent months. The single barrel, how much was this guy?
It was like $35.
I was going to say, so I usually see single barrel picks between 30 and 35. I'd say if you can find a single barrel, it's at least worth giving it a shot.
Yeah.
I say it like that particularly because you're obviously not going to get this barrel, right? That's the whole beauty of beauty and the curse of a single barrel is you're not going to get this one, but it's worth tracking down a single barrel of it because you are going to get just so much character.
Yeah.
You are going to get so much more of that just imparted barrel flavor because it is that single barrel. I always think back to the freaking... brain turn on. The Jack Daniel's single barrel select that we had, the barrel proof single barrel select, which again, right here, that one rocked our socks off. Like, take away the fact that it punched us in the face, it also was just a delicious glass of bourbon.
Yeah.
Or sorry, Tennessee whiskey. But it's one of those, like, it's hard to say, go track this down because I don't know if the bottle you buy on the East Coast is going to be the same bottle that we bought out here. But I would say it's at least worth your effort trying to track it down, especially if you live in an area where it's more commonly found. What are your thoughts on it? I mean, I know I kind of gave my closing statements. I suppose I could give it a score. For me... I don't remember what I scored this one. I want to say I gave it a 2.5 or a 3 for this guy. Given that it's a single barrel, I'm going to say it's going to be a 4. It's a little bit stingy to give it a 4 just because, again, you probably can't go out and get this bottle. But I think it merits a 4. Like, it's great flavor. That aromatic tobacco note, I personally love it in whiskey. So for me, that's hitting all the right buttons. And again... it's just a damn fine glass of whiskey. You're not going to hear me complain about Buffalo Trace. So it's a 4 for me. Where are you going?
So I'm right there with you. I think it's a 4 as well. But that's also just because I'm a super weeded bourbon fan. So a lot of weeded bourbons, or most of them, I tend to really like. I just love that weeded flavor. So yeah, it's going to be a 4 for me. It's definitely a good pick, good flavor all around.
That's right, folks. So it's 4s all around once again here on the Dram Tram. But do us a favor, hit us up in the comments. What do you think of Buffalo Trace? Do you have a barrel pick? What do you think of it? Is it a 2? Is it a 1? Is it a you just haven't found it yet? Nonetheless, hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We love interacting with you there. And hey, while you're here, don't forget, we've been making the show for about 2.5 years. We've got a lot of other videos. You can check out some of them right here after the outro and the whistle and all that fun stuff. Give them a watch. We always appreciate that. Until next time, folks, you got anything else you want to add?
Not about you, Ben.
Stay safe, drink well, all aboard. Catch you next time. Hey, everybody. Hope you liked that video.
Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications.
And don't forget to subscribe.